and has some, not only black level, but obviously black level with detail. So where the characters are wearing like black suits, you still should be able to see detail in the black suit. So I think this is a good balance between the two. Interestingly, because the overall image is not as bright, well, I'll play it and I'll explain it. How's this? This is interesting. This is just a function of how HDR works. Because the peak brightness of this content is lower than the peak brightness of the content we were just looking at, as well as the average picture level, handshake, 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 and because the average picture level, what's known as APL, is lower for this movie and this scene compared to the last scene, the relative difference between these two projectors is going to appear less to your eyes. It's just the way that brightness kind of works. Right? Humans are not particularly sensitive to big changes in brightness. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Now, it's a good call out, right? So the black bar here, versus the black bar here, right? So why is that? Well, there are two reasons. First, with a projector, unlike your television, there's not localized dimming, right? So as a simple byproduct of the Epson being brighter, everything is brighter, including the black level, right? The black floor that you can achieve, right, is lower on this projector because this projector is half the brightness of that projector. If I was to then show you the Sony XW5000, which is 2000 lumens versus this projector, which is 27, its black bar would be even darker. But the image is also just darker. So it's a balance of kind of trading those things.
What if you lower the brightness on it?
You could do that. You could lower the brightness here, and you
black bar?
and you could claim back some of that black bar performance at the cost of peak brightness. So there's this relationship that happens. So one of the other things that you can do that's interesting from a screen perspective is masking screens, right? Is like the Stream Pro from Stewart, for example, is a vertical masking screen, constant width, and you could mask the black bars out, right? So this black felt would essentially extend, motorized, up to here, right? And so from a visual perspective, you could manage that from a couple of different ways.
But then you have wasted pixels.
Oh no, I'm just talking about covering up only when you're watching this content. It's motorized, so it opens and closes depending on what you're watching.
Can the Epson image go to 16:9?
Absolutely. In fact, actually, the Epson and the Sony projectors are natively 16:9. The JVC is natively 17:9.